Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. Before we get started, let's get today's shout out of the way. Today's shout out goes to Hong Rong Ung. He was first to say first in one of my recent videos, and thus was this shout out, so congratulations. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and I have a neat review of a highly anticipated drone. This is the JJRC X9 Heron GPS drone. Why was everybody excited about this drone? Well, this drone is a somewhat rebranding of another popular drone that I reviewed recently, the Seafly Dream. It also looks like the DJI Spark, but it is not a Spark. But let's go over the details of this thing, and then I'm going to compare it to the Dream. There is a difference. There is a big difference in price, for one thing, but there also is some differences between the X9 and the Dream that you should be aware of before you decide on your purchase. Now, again, the JJRC X9 Heron is a GPS drone. When I say GPS, I mean GPS only. There is no GPS GLONASS system on this. This actually has somewhat of an older GPS system. It takes quite a while to lock on, especially for its first time once it gets from China. So, in fact, what I recommend, folks, is you charge up your battery, and before you go out in your first flight or attempting your first flight, take this drone outdoors, out in your front yard there, or your backyard, either one, out in an open area, power it up, and let's just let it sit there for about 10 to 15 minutes till it gets a lock on, its first lock on. It took me 15 minutes to get its first lock on from China to discover that it was in the U.S. Okay, a lot of other drones, do that much faster, especially the ones with GPS GLONASS systems. Again, this one only has an older GPS system as compared to the Dream. Dream has GPS GLONASS and locks on almost immediately. This one here took me 15 minutes again to get its first lock on from China. However, follow-on lock-ons after it discovers that it's in a different country are much, much faster. Okay, it remembers that it's no longer in a different country, and the lock-ons are a lot faster. However, you only get about 7 or 8 satellites with this thing as compared to 18 to 20 that you get with the Dream. So the accuracy of the GPS fix that this gets is somewhat less than what you get with the Dream also. Okay, in addition to GPS system for position hold, it also has an optical flow sensor on the belly here. This comes in handy, especially when flying at very low altitudes. Say you're doing selfies. This will help hold the drone a lot steadier than just the GPS system alone. So that is pretty cool in itself. It also comes with a 1080p camera, 1080p HD camera, that includes a 2-axis stabilized gimbal. So expect some stable pictures from this video, or from this drone, as compared to others, especially in this price range. This is pretty good price, to have that capability in this price range. In the back, it also has a slot for micro SD cards that you can insert your micro SD card into and record directly to a micro SD card instead of recording to your phone via Wi-Fi video. Additionally, there's a USB port in the back, and that I'm pretty sure is just for updating the firmware on this, although I can't remember if you can download videos without unplugging the SD card. I'll try that, and I'll mention that later if that is possible. Other things about what else do you get with this? Let's talk about the battery. I haven't mentioned the battery. Now, again, this is identical to the Dream, so this uses the same battery as the Dream, but we get a 3S battery. It's an LiHV battery, which is 13.05 volts max voltage, 1,000 milliampere hour battery. I've seen this advertised as 2,500 milliampere hour. It's not. It's 1,000 milliampere hour battery, 3S. And again, it's proprietary, and it slides in the back like so. It has a button in the back for checking the battery level, or for turning on the drone. There's a quick press and then a long press, and it makes this pretty song as it binds up. But again, let me turn it off again. And to turn it off, you hold down the button for about 3 seconds, and that should power it down. What else do you get? You get its charger, and again, it's a charger for that proprietary battery. You get two spare propellers in here, and you get this little metal rod. I'm not sure. Here, let me pull that out and show it to you. But I'm not sure what this. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I know what it is, folks. get a little wrench there to help remove those props. And also you get a European Union plug that you can, adapter plug that you could use with the charger. And also, let's talk about the controller. Now the controller is different also from that of the Dream. Let me show you the Dream controller. This is the Dream controller. It's a much bigger controller, but it has similar features to what the Dream controller has. Let's talk about them. First off, you get a scroll wheel for moving the camera lens up or down. The gimbal camera can be moved up or down by using this scroll wheel here. You get a mode switch. Now this mode switch here, you can fly between either GPS or altitude hold. I recommend flying in GPS since this is a GPS bird. But if you want to fly fast and low, press that button and you can switch to altitude hold only, and you get much faster flying if you do such. But again, you lose return to home capability if you do that, so don't do that if you depend on return to home. And speaking of return to home, it has automatic return to home and landing, which you can activate by pressing this button here. The drone will also automatically return to home and land on loss of signal from the controller or loss of signal from the app if you're flying with the app only, and it will also return to home on low battery power. Now that I want to see today, because the Dream did not when I tested it. It supposedly has that capability also, but it would not return to home for me. What else do we got? We got automatic takeoff and automatic landing, which you activate by pressing that button there. And finally, you can take photos and videos by pressing this button here if you're flying with the controller. If you're flying with the app, you need to use the app, obviously, to take photos and videos. Now there's something else. Oh, before we talk about that, something else. And you get this cable. And this cable, this micro USB cable, is for charging the controller, as the controller has a built-in battery. And I don't see any way to access that built-in battery other than to remove the screws if you need to replace that battery eventually. But again, it has a built-in battery that you charge using this micro USB cable. Now, I haven't mentioned, this uses an app. And that app is the Enjoy Fly app, available in Google Play and iTunes. And that app provides circle me, follow me capability, along with waypoint capability, although the waypoints feature doesn't seem to work on this, nor did it work with the Dream either. But to use those, again, you need to use the app. So you can't use this controller. If you're flying with a controller, circle me and follow me does not work. We'll try that out in the field, but it didn't work for me with the Dream, if I remember correctly. I had to remove, turn off the controller and fly it strictly with the app to get those capabilities. What else? Okay, I mentioned the GPS GLONASS system. I also weighed these two to compare them between the Dream and this one here, the X9 Heron. And this one is a little bit lighter than this. This one here is about 176 grams, and this is 170 grams. Now, I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe it's the difference in that GPS system that's in there. But there is a slight difference in weight between the two. Okay, and finally, comparing ranges on these two. Now, when I flew the Dream, I was able to fly out to about 500 meters maximum FPV range. And the reason I did that, and this might be able to do it also, is that the controller of the Dream and this controller also both have a built-in Wi-Fi repeater. So, you're not depending on your Wi-Fi system of your phone to get that FPV. You get extra oomph of amplification and transmission from the repeater. What it does is your phone connects to the controller, and the controller connects to the drone's Wi-Fi. There's two Wi-Fi signals. You want to connect to this one if you're flying with the controller. The controller's Wi-Fi. But with that, I was able to get 500 meters using the Dream, and I'm hoping that this will also be able to fly about 500 meters today. We'll fly it and see. And additionally, I was able to get 14 minutes of flight time on the Dream. We're going to compare flight times when we take it out in the field. And that's about it. So let's take this out in the field today and see how it flies. I got to fly it because there's a big storm coming in here, and I only got a few more hours before that storm hits. So let's do it. Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and we are out at one of my favorite test sites, one of my favorite flying spots on a lovely Saturday morning. Actually, we got a storm system coming through here. I need to fly right now because in a few more hours here, we're going to have a lot of rain here. So I got to get this out of the way. So to start this up, to start the JJRC X9 up, you do a quick, well, let's put it on the ground first, but I'll show you. You do a quick press, I'll do it here, quick press and then a long press to turn on the ESCs. And you hear the ESCs chirping there. And turn on the transmitter, and it should be bound. Okay, now what I need to do next is, first off, open up these propellers, and then I need to connect my phone to the controller. I'm not connecting it to the drone. I'll do that later if I get a chance here to demonstrate other features of this drone. But first off, you need to connect, if you're flying with a controller, you need to connect your phone to the controller, and the controller will connect to the drone. What it is, it's got a Wi-Fi relay in here. So let me do that first and we'll get started. Okay, this is the Enjoy Fly app available on Google Play and iTunes. And it really is a rebranded version of the C-Fly app. You'll see here shortly. But if you go in the upper right corner, it has more detailed instructions for each of the drones that JJRC has rebranded under from C-Fly. And let's go pick this one here. Here's our drone, the X9, and it's a little more detailed than what you get in paper form from JJRC. And one of the important things it tells you, it didn't mention in the paper app, it tells you to connect to the controller, but it tells you the things that it can and cannot do under Wi-Fi or control. And those are photo and video and flight modes of, let's see, follow me and circle me. You have to use the app to do follow me and circle me, folks. So if you're wondering why it's not working for you, you have to be flying with the app and not with the controller. Okay, let's start flying. And let's see if I'm a liar on that when we get in the air. Okay, let's hit close. Drone is under remote controller control. We know that. First thing we always need to do, since this is a GPS drone, is to go into these settings, and that's in the upper right corner here, and select compass calibration. We are going to be flying GPS, so we need to calibrate our compass every time, folks. I strongly recommend that. Two ways of doing that: you can either rotate your whole body or just rotate the drone once, and then you got to go vertically. It could be nose up or nose down. It tells you nose up. Oh, I have to hit calibrate first. Hold on, let's start again. Hit calibrate. Actually, I'm going to hold it this way so we can see. And then we rotate like so. And then first turn the drone. Please keep the head of the drone upward and rotate again. And we'll do it like this. Calibrate success. We're done. Okay, putting the drone back on the pad and regaining my equilibrium here because I'm dizzy. Hit done. And then coming back out of this, we should be ready to fly, folks. Well, we should be, except notice that we only got 5 satellites. We need at least 6 satellites to get a GPS lock, so we're really not ready yet. So let's wait a bit here, see how long it takes to get that 6th satellite before we fly here. And again, it took me like 15 minutes for the first lock on this drone, but this one here, I'm hoping it will lock on a little bit faster. So hold on, folks, and we'll come back when we have more satellites. Okay, it's about 5 minutes later. Again, the GPS system on this is not the same as the GPS system on the Dream. It's somewhat inferior, actually. Let's see if we can start the motors now, though. Down and out. So, yeah, we can start the motors now. So we have sufficient satellites to fly at 7. I'd prefer 8 or more, but we're going to go take to the air right now so I can get some video in. Now again, since I'm flying with a controller, I can actually use this button to start and stop the video. So let's start the video right now. Video is started. And I am going to move the gimbal down a bit. I want to make sure I don't get any props in my view. I'm hoping that'll stop it. Go down a little bit more. Down. Okay, obviously the gimbal's bumping onto the ground here. Let's wait until we get in the air. So let's start the motors. Actually, let's try automatic takeoff. Pressing that button and holding it down. Let's see if that'll do it. And let's check its position hold. It's wandering a bit. Again, not the best GPS in the world. And that optical flow is not working very well at all either. So, you know, that's one of the shortcomings of this drone, again, is its GPS system is not very good. Let's go up a little bit higher and get into the picture. And I do have a tie-dye on underneath this, but you're not going to be able to see it because it's cold today. It's also somewhat cold today. Now let's lower that gimbal again. I want to try that again. Doesn't want to lower. Oh, there we go. I can't get it just right. So the gimbal's control is kind of twitchy, so we'll leave it like that. But notice the wandering. It's just not wandering very, you know, flying very well at all under GPS control. A lot of wandering. I'm not doing anything, folks. That's it, moving by itself. So, you know, you get what you pay for. Again, it's a little bit cheaper, or it's actually a lot cheaper than the Dream, but it doesn't have the same GPS performance as the Dream. Okay, let's go out and check its range. I got my glasses on because, again, I'm probably going to need to fly this. I'm flying an FPV, but I'm also want to keep an eye on this drone because I don't trust that GPS, especially with only 7 satellites. I got to be able to bring it back manually. But let's see, what type of range are we at right now? We are at a range of 84 meters, and I want to go up higher so I can still see it above those mountains in the distance and against the clouds in the background. And going forward and pressing forward, and also lowering the gimbal. I want to make sure I'm not getting props because my viewers always, I just can't get the gimbal to cooperate. My viewers always complain when I get props in the view, and I don't want to get props in the view. Okay, 156 meters, still got FPV. So the FPV is working well. Going up a bit higher. And going up on some more. 200 meters. Going up higher. 225 meters. FPV's getting choppy right about there, but still got it. Let's go to the left now. Turning to the left, pushing forward. Yeah, FPV is real choppy at about 225. So the FPV reception from this is not the same as from the Dream. You know, I don't know if these antennas on this transmitter are real antennas, but I'm pushing forward and still don't have FPV. Okay, I'm going to stop it right about there, and we're going to do return to home from that distance there. Let me turn it. Let's see. Okay, I got some FPV there, so maybe I can fly it back via FPV. I'm going to try to do that first off. Can I bring it back home with FPV? I think that's us in the distance there, pushing forward. Yeah, that's us. Okay, from there, let's try the automatic return to home and see how accurate it is. Pressing the return to home button. And let's see if it actually can do that with 7 satellites. I'm scared because 7 satellites is not a lot of satellites, folks. So our range is under about 300 meters for FPV. Again, I got out to about 500 meters for FPV with the Dream. So it's a little less FPV range. And I'm not going to go any further than that, folks, because this thing gets really hard to see at about 300 meters. It was just a little dot in the sky. And again, I don't trust the GPS system on this. I'm sorry, I just don't. 7 satellites is really cutting it close. And the accuracy of the return to home is much to be desired. We are about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 meters off, maybe. 1, 2. There's where we took off, and there's where it's landing. So again, let's turn that off. GPS is not as good as the Dream's. Dream has that GLONASS system and included with the GPS. It's very accurate. Okay, let's put that back on the pad. Let's stop that video recording and start another one. Actually, I want to take a picture too this time. Okay, taking to the air again. This time I'm doing a manual takeoff. And getting into the picture. And let's try taking a photo this time. Quick press. One more. One more. Okay, that's enough. Okay, this time, let's fly down the road and just fly FPV down the road. See how well we can maintain visual on this via both my eyes and using the screen here. I don't like to fly out of line of sight because you can get into problems doing that, folks. And I know a lot of people like to do that, but you really shouldn't. You should always keep your drone within visual sight. Okay, where's it going now? I'm pushing forward. It's wandering a bit. It's wandering quite a bit. So have I lost GPS? No, I got 11 satellites right now, but it's doing toilet bowling. I got to come back home. Pushing forward, doing toilet bowling. When you see toilet bowling, you want to land immediately. And I'm going to try to do that. Why do you want to land immediately? You want to redo a compass calibration. Let's plop it down right there. We got to do a compass calibration, folks. And I got a warning here. Environmental, magnetic, yeah, interference too large. You need a compass calibration done. Okay, again, to do compass calibration, upper right corner, and hit compass calibration. And selecting calibrate. And we rotate horizontally like so. This time I'm doing nose down. And then vertically like so. And calibrate success. Hitting done. And let's go back to the pad and make sure we always take off from the pad so we can check return to home capability. So right now it said I had 11 satellites. Let's see if we still got those 11 satellites. I kicked in there. Back on the pad. Coming back out of that. And this 9 satellites. And then starting the video, 10 satellites. Video recording is started. And let's do automatic takeoff. And 40% battery power. Now this is 10 satellites. I don't know, folks. But going up. Right now it's telling me my battery's getting low. And again, I did charge this thing. And it's acting wonky again. I did a compass calibration. So I'm not going to go too far with this because I just don't trust it. So I'm sorry. But I'm going to keep it in visual line of sight flying. If it gets real wonky, I am going to switch to altitude hold and fly it that way. But the camera looks good. Let's give it the, you know, what it's worth its due. The camera does look good. Well, no, I take that back now. I'm noticing the gimbal seems to be somewhat off. Somewhat tilted for some reason. Let's turn to the left here. And I'm getting low in battery power. It says 10%. I find that hard to believe. Let's land it and see if that's true. Because we've only been flying, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Okay, I'm going to fly it manually inbound. And got red light on the back, and it's landing itself. I didn't tell it to do that. So its battery is low. Let's double check it by a press of the back button. Yep, battery is low. So that battery on this didn't last very long. So, but I do have a C-Fly Dream battery that I brought with me, and we're gonna, let me turn off the video recording, and let's put a C-Fly Dream battery in that, and we're gonna fly it with the controller alone to try out its follow me and circle me ability. So hold on, folks. Okay, now we are going to fly it with the app only. Right now I got 14 satellites. I'm surprised it actually got that many, but it took a while to get them. Now I'm hitting recording on my phone. Let's hit record again. There we go. That should do it. Yep, that did it. And we are going to need to hit automatic takeoff. The drone will take off after hitting OK. The drone is taken to the air. Again, we got 14 satellites now. Much better hover. Let's see if we can go up higher. Using the virtual joysticks on the drone. And saying, how do you like my shirt today, folks? Now, we want to try follow me first. In the upper corner, see that position? Click that position button and then select track. And I don't know what it's doing. What it's tracking. Is it tracking me? Yeah, apparently it is. But I'm too close. So turn off track. I know what the problem is. There's an error between where I think I am and where the drone thinks I am based on our two different GPS systems. So I need to go a little bit farther away. I don't know, about 30 meters would be good. How far away am I? Well, you really can't tell here. But let's try that again. So hitting that position button and hitting track. Now it's following the GPS position on my phone, or at least where it thinks my GPS is. Let's see how well that works. Well, that seems to work. Well, it kind of works. Kind of. Maybe I should be even farther away. Let's try going the other direction. Let's see if it follows me this way. I can see myself in the lower left corner here. Let me hit that button there. Now you can change the altitude of the track via the slide bar on the left. See the 3, 4, 5. Let's go up a bit higher. Let's go up to about 7. And we're there. And let me go a little bit farther away. I'm going to turn off track again. Hitting position. And it's saying I'm a low battery already, so we better go into something different. Let's try the circle me. Orbit. And it's going to try to orbit that position. Battery's getting low already. So another thing about this drone is there seems to be some type of a, I don't know, power drain. I'm going to pull back on the pitch so it'll orbit. But that's not doing it. There we go. It's orbiting that position there, so let me get in there. But there seems to be some type of power drain that I'm not sure what's causing it, folks, unfortunately. Okay, now it says I've got 40% power. I don't know what the difference is, but there's its orbit position. I don't know where it's orbiting. It's doing a weird orbit position. Let's pull it back even farther and see what it does there. It's kind of, let's see if I can adjust that. I'm trying the yaw, but no, this orbit position is a little bit weird. I'm just going to document that. It seems to change the location of the position of orbit. The position wanders where it's the center position of the orbit. So let's come out of orbit, stopping it, and going back to regular flight. Let's try to follow me one more time. I'm going to go even further away from its position, and then hit track. And it should be tracking me, and now I'm going to walk toward it. And let's see if it's working. I still got 40% power. I don't know where the battery power went the other time. Battery power dropped, so every once in a while it gets this weird load on the battery that causes the battery to show low battery when it's not. And notice how it wanders in the air up there while it's doing track. So I'm coming out of track. Track is off. Now we're going to fly it manually. So that's its position and its track feature, or its orbit and track feature. And I better come down. It's going, I don't know where it's going, pushing forward, bringing it closer to me. Whoa, let's go down and land it, because it's flying away. It was doing weird things, folks. It was flying away. So there's potential for flyaway with this drone too. So this thing has some issues. I have to be honest about it. There are some issues. You know, it's a cheaper version of the Dream, a much cheaper version of the Dream, but with a lot of issues, apparently. Okay, this bush shouldn't have hurt it any, I'm hoping. Let's see here. We still got flight time. What I'm going to do is one more compass calibration to see if that corrects the problem of that attempted flyaway. Let's stop that video too. So yeah, JJRC is trying to produce a cheaper version of the Dream, but they're using a cheaper GPS system. I'm not sure if that was a good idea of them to do such, because that creates a lot of problems for this little bird. I kind of like the original Dream, but okay, let's go into the compass calibration one more time. And sensor calibration, compass calibration, press calibrate to start magnetic compass calibration. Okay, it started. I'm going to hold it in my right hand and do a dance until that light turns green, from blue to green. There we go. And rotate again. Head up and rotate one more time. And we're done. Okay, putting it back on the pad. Again, regaining my composure from the dizziness and starting the video camera one more time and hitting auto takeoff and hitting OK. So yeah, if you ever see it doing what do you call it, toilet bowl effect or weird gyrations or just uncommanded things, land immediately, folks. Don't try to fly it back to yourself. Find a flat spot beneath the drone and put it down. That's true for all GPS drones, or just about all drones in general. Okay? Okay, how about as a selfie drone? It seems to be okay as a selfie drone. I'm not sure why its optical flow isn't working very well. Maybe it's because of the overcast day here, cutting back on the light. Although it's holding its position rather well right now. Okay, how much power do I got left? I don't have much more power left. It says I got 10% power remaining. We'll fly it until it lands itself. Let's see if it does. And actually, let's go a little bit away from the pad. Right over here. Plop it here. And see if it lands itself when the battery goes down. Okay, 10% battery power. What's it do on low battery? It is supposed to return to home, the way I understand it. Let's go a little bit farther forward. Let's get away from the pad and see if it actually does a return to home. I don't want to fly over my head, because if it does drop, I don't want to drop it on my head. Let's go about 100 meters or so from its takeoff position. Is it going to return to home? Well, apparently it is. It's doing something, but that is not home. That's not home. Come down. Come down. Ho, ho, ho. It flew off to Never Never Land. Okay, hopefully I can find it. Hopefully. We'll see. Okay, I found it. It took a while to find the dang thing. It was a good 150 meters away from where I took off. I don't know where it was headed. Probably back to China, as they normally say. But overall, this drone has problems, folks. The JJRC X9. Particularly its GPS system is unreliable. I would not rely on this thing to go for distance flying. It has issues. They went with cheaper components to offer it at a lower price, but with that, it created problems for this drone. So unfortunately, I really can't recommend it, folks. So this is Quadcopter 101. Hope you enjoyed this flight and review. Signing out. Hi, Quadcopter 101 here again. Hey, if you want to get your own shout out in one of my future videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's real simple. Just go to my channel page and click on that subscribe. And also make sure to click that bell button right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I release a brand new video immediately and give you a chance to get that first shout out. So give it a try, folks.